Hello and welcome to another edition of An English Guy Watching Wrestling. I am the English Guy, I'm Nick. Thank you so much for clicking on another video, I do appreciate it. In this one, I'm going to be covering the 15th of July 2021 edition of Impact Wrestling. So that being said, jump right into it. Opening matchup was a tag team matchup between Caleb with a K and Tennille Dashwood versus Rachel Ellering and Jordynne Grace. And this is one that's kind of been building for a little while because of the animosity between all four individuals. Obviously, Jordan and Rachel Ellering get back on the same page after they weren't on the same page. Coming back together, and Tennille Dashwood trying to find a tag team partner desperately to go after knockout tag team titles. Couldn't find anybody. Kind of blamed a few people for that, and Jordan and Rachel were kind of in the firing line for that one. So that's where this matchup came about. Of course, the only person Tennille Dashwood can only really count on is Caleb with a K, who's her photographer. So as weird as that sounds, that's how it was, and this is how this match went. And it was a good match. I enjoyed it, to be fair. I thought the unique elements of the matchup and the individuals involved made it for quite a good, fun opening matchup. And Jordan and Rachel Ellering won with a finish I've never seen before. I don't think they've named it, but it's a hard hitting move, and they managed to pin their opponents with it and get the win. But the sneakiness of Caleb is so funny to watch. And Tennille Dashwood is superb. I think she's so underrated. I think she's such a good talent. And this was a fun tag team matchup to open the show. And I think the right people won. Even though I do like Tennille and Caleb as a combination, I think they're very, very entertaining. This matchup was for Jordan and Rachel to win, and they did. So definitely thumbs up to all four individuals for producing a fun opening matchup. Definitely some unique elements in it, but definitely not complaining. So nothing wrong with that. Thumbs up again. And this matchup was Tasha Steelz accompanied by Kiera Hogan versus Havoc accompanied by Rosemary. Now, of course, all four of these ladies have a knockout tag team title match this weekend at Slammiversary, where Fire and Flavor will be defending against Rosemary and Havoc. And this, I really like the combination of these four, just so unique characters, such unique characters in all of them, to be fair. So I'm looking forward to the matchup. And of course, we've got Havoc, the strongest competitor, well, maybe, one of the strongest competitors. I'm not going to take anything away from Jordynne Grace and Rachel Ellering because they're both very, very strong. Two superb athletes in these, superb athlete in Rosemary and Tasha Steelz. And the way they did it was great because Tasha Steelz is not the tallest member. Havoc is a powerhouse, and she showed it, and she showed what she can do in this matchup, overpowering Tasha to hit with the tombstone for the 1, 2, 3. And the character work from all four in this matchup was up there. I loved it, and I did think it was a good, fun opening, a fun singles matchup, and I'm looking forward to this matchup at Slammiversary. So I think there's got real potential to be a very good matchup, and it was a fun matchup, this one. So thumbs up to both ladies for producing entertaining stuff here, and momentum build into the weekend's pay-per-view goes to the challengers. So there we go. And this matchup was Steve McLean versus Cal Hero, and of course, Steve McLean, since being in Impact Wrestling, has been on a tearing through every single opponent he's faced. Cal Hero was the same. It was a squash match. Hit him with the unique finisher. I don't know if he has a name for it, but he did win the matchup. So there you go, another win for Steve McLean. This matchup was an 8-man tag match between Ace Austin, Shera, Rohit Raju, and Madman Fulton versus Josh Alexander, Trey Miguel, Chris Bay, and P.T. Williams. And of course, 6 of those individuals are involved in the Ultimate X match, the return of the Ultimate X match this weekend at Slammiversary, where Josh Alexander will put the title on the line. And when it comes to these multi-man person matches in wrestling and Impact, you kind of know what to expect. Chopping and changing. There wasn't a whole lot of that until the end of the matchup, to be fair. It was basically a tag match until that point. But all 8 of them did a good job, to be fair. I enjoyed this one. And I think Chris Bay getting the pinfall was the right call because he's kind of been on the fence. Is he with the heel side? Is he with the face side? He's on his own side. And that's been kind of interesting to see against everybody else. And it's going to kind of make him a target at this at the weekend's pay-per-view. But is he going to be the outsider to win the belt? I don't know. I mean, I really don't know who to pick in that matchup before I continue on this matchup. I don't know who's going to win that one. It's going to be a pick me, to be fair. But I think Chris Bay might have the momentum to do it. I can just see him winning the belt, and I don't know why. I just can. Who knows? We'll see what happens. If my prediction's wrong, I will say so. But no, when it comes to this matchup, I kind of knew what you would expect because it's the X Division, and they're very, very good at producing, really good matches like this. And it was a good matchup, to be fair. And the chopping and changing was happening and later in the matchup. Everyone got a chance to shine and do their thing. And you kind of love that in multi-person matches. It's kind of what you expect. They did it here. So they continued the formula. So I can't complain about that. And so thumbs up to that. So there we go. And this matchup was Moose versus Hernandez, my apologies. And this was a squash match for Moose. He won with a spear very quickly. There we go. But also, it's to the main event. It was a fatal four-way match between Joe Doring, Fallah Bahh, Willie Mack, and Doc Gallows. And of course, all four of these men will be in a tag team for this weekend's Slammiversary when they will all be having a shot at the AEW. So they will all be going for the Impact World Tag Team titles held by Violent by Design. So a lot of unique elements there for sure. Who's going to win that? I really don't know. But with Doc Gallows picking up the win in this matchup. With Joe Doring picking up the win in this matchup. My apologies. The momentum is in the champion's corner. Are they going to retain? I'd say. But again, fatal four-way matches are always entertaining and a bit of chopping and changing. You got that here, but it was a hard-hitting matchup. And with all four of these guys, I'm not surprised because for the strongest and largest competitors in all of Impact Wrestling, sorry, I enjoyed it. I did like this one, and I think Joe Doring winning kind of threw a unique spin because I was half expecting one of the other men to get the pin for on maps. Fallah Bahh getting the pin on Willie Mack maybe getting the pin on Doc Gallows. I was half expecting that. No, Joe Doring picked up the win, and impressively so. So the two as well, impressively so. You know what I mean? Tongue-tied myself again. But no, this was a good main event to top off what was a good episode of Impact Wrestling. And again, they're doing pretty good stuff. And always on Slammiversary this weekend, I think it's going to be a good matchup. And on that note, I will end the review here. So thank you so much for watching. I will see everybody next time. Until that time, take care.